Let me get to the bigger point about LeBron James. LeBron James choosing to step off of social media. And I was hesitant to bring this up because I didn't want to. Because LeBron James is approaching age 40. He is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, one of the top 2 players in NBA history. And we will miss him when he is gone. He's a special, special dude on all fronts. But none of us are perfect. And LeBron James electing to get off of social media, is that because of you, LeBron James? Or is it because of your son, Bronny James, and his struggles in the D-League and the NBA prior to that, college basketball, prior to that, high school basketball when he was an All-American averaging 14 points a game, and people said no All-American averages 14 points a game? It's probably the latter. You know, Greg Anthony alluded to this earlier, and that's why I asked him the question. When you think about LeBron James and what LeBron James had to say, Greg Anthony made a very valid point. The level of vitriol that LeBron James has experienced throughout his career, he's one of the most scrutinized superstars in history. It's not because he's LeBron James. It's because when he came along is when social media shortly followed. Imagine what scrutiny Charles Barkley and MJ and Isaiah and others would have received had there been the existence of social media, had there been Instagram and X, or formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook and TikTok and all of this other stuff. Imagine what it would have been if they played during that time. So we understand that LeBron James has received a heightened level of scrutiny, but we also understand that he's fully capable of taking and absorbing it and stomaching it. So why step away now? Truthfully speaking, it only makes sense that it's Bronny James. Not to be redundant, but it's necessary to be that way. Bronny James doesn't belong in the NBA. Not yet. Some people say never. I don't believe that. I believe the kid has a chance. And I think that he's going to do, I believe in him. I believe in his work ethic, his faith, et cetera, et cetera. But he's not ready yet. Which brings this back to LeBron James. We don't have to scrutinize Bronny James in terms of points per game average and all of this other stuff. Please, he's a kid. He'll come along. He'll work on his game. Hopefully, he'll earn his stripes. Respectfully, this is all LeBron's fault. It was LeBron James that told the world, sitting next to his wonderful wife, Savannah, for an interview, asked the question, what does he want for Bronny? What do they want for Bronny? She said, I just want him to be happy. LeBron James said, I want to play with him in the NBA. I want him in the NBA. And then, because he's LeBron James, he greased the skids and facilitated it happening, ensuring through Rich Paul that nobody would draft Bronny James before the Lakers grabbed him, because there were teams tempted to do it just to keep him away from the Lakers and LeBron. Most importantly, LeBron James was caught saying publicly that Bronny James was better than some players in the NBA. Did you think people were going to forget that? See, I'm not getting into Bronny James because none of this is Bronny James' fault. He's just a kid out there working hard, trying to be the best that he can be, who is very blessed and fortunate to have a father like LeBron James, who loves him and had no ill intent whatsoever. But just because you didn't have ill intent doesn't mean that your intent didn't end up being ill-fated. Because you put this kid behind an 8-ball, and now he's a target for everybody. And whatever level of scrutiny he's experiencing, and whatever difficulty he's having and stomaching and dealing with all of it, is because his father couldn't keep his mouth shut. His father couldn't just play and say, I want my son happy no matter what he wants to do. It would be a dream come true to play in the NBA with him, but we can't have everything we want. Hopefully someday it'll happen, and let's left it alone. You didn't do that. And as a result, in all likelihood, Bronny James is experiencing an elevated level of scrutiny that would be difficult for anybody his age, with his experience, and with his unfamiliarity in being associated with this kind of critique. it's been difficult for him. That doesn't make LeBron James the worst person in the world. He's a damn good father. He's a family man. He's an iconic figure that we all should revere, not just respect. But in the same breath, rather than say, I'm stepping off of social media because of the negativity, how about adding, especially some of the negativity I unintentionally brought on my own son? I need to take a step back. I'm not saying you should have done it automatically, but since you felt the need to do what you did in terms of retweeting Rich Kleiman's tweet and stepping away from social media, and since you refrained from just stepping away quietly and basically piggybacked off of Rich Kleiman to blame the national media, could you blame yourself? Because in the end, nobody is more guilty of making times hard for Bronny James, the basketball player, than LeBron James. That's just a fact. There's no way around it. Still rooting for you, Bronny. Keep working hard, keep making things happen. You got a chance no matter what the critics say. To LeBron James, respectfully, I know you had the best of intentions, but the national media ain't the problem, bro. Not in the case of Bronny James. That would happen to be you.